Okay, guys, everybody ready to rock and roll here? Can you all hear me? And also, can you see my
This file
screen?
made by the trial
You should
version
see a
of
picture
Advanced
that
Audio
says welcome on
Compressor.
there.
Please, buy it now.
No pic, not yet. Let me try that again. Okay, how about now? You should be able to see a screen that says welcome. Okay, good. Okay, so just before I jump in here, I want to take a little bit of a kind of an unofficial poll. How many of you are brand new to trading? In other words, you've never used any type of strategy before? If you get all
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor.
If you're brand new to
Please,
trading,
buy it now.
Say yes. Okay, so we have some people that are brand new. How many of you have been trading, say, less than 3 months? There you go, Tomek. One week. There you go. You're a quick learner. Okay, then on the other end, we have some of you, like, very experienced, 3 years, 7 years. Okay, we have Christopher, 10 years. Okay, it says I'm a disaster trader. Okay, well, we'll straighten that out. Okay, Gerald, 4 months.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please, buy it now.
Regardless of how long you've been trading, have yet to consistently even break even? Okay? And it's okay. Listen, we all go through that. We all kind of first have to learn how to not lose money. And how many of you are maybe making some money, but it's not really enough that kind of gets you excited or enough to live on? Okay. Break even. A lot of you said, yes, you're making something. And then how many of you guys are making some very good money? And it might not necessarily be in a dollar amount, but you might be happy because let's say you're
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please, buy it now.
Okay, Emil, you sounds like you're on the right path. Paul, yes, okay. It's always good to have goals. If you can do 500, then you want to get to 600 or 700 a week and so forth. And Greg mentioned here in the chat box, he says it's a roller coaster ride. We all go through that. Okay, all right, let's jump in. For some of you known me from quite a while, either through Nikos or going way back further than that. But I've been trading personally for over 20 years, and I've been helping traders since 2003. Okay, so, at it a long time, 14 years.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please, buy it now.
So, it definitely took some doing to earn that degree. And the picture on the left there is if I'm not kind of buried in the charts, you'll find me out on my motorcycle, providing it's not too cold out. So let me just get the slideshow going here. Paul, yes, I follow the Spartan system, but I have some slight modifications. It's not like any different. Sometimes it just might be the way I look at things, maybe the time frames. But when you understand the principles of what's happening in the sport, and then it's kind of easy to translate into something else. So it's very similar. So if you can see this...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please, buy it now.
But it looks very different. And the reason I put this picture here is that I realize that we have a lot of different people here. Some of you might be, I don't know, 17 years old, 20 years old, 80 years old. It doesn't really matter. Some of you, have been working at a profession for, 30 years. Some of you are students. But the bottom line is, because you're all different individuals, your brains are wired differently, you don't all learn and process the information the same way. And also I have to keep in, under consideration that you all have different experience levels in the market. So some of the things I'm going to share you've heard in one shape or form or another. But for others, it's going to be brand new. So I really need to try to make
this file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
What I want to share and teach ideas is that I might share it, like say the same thing 3 different ways, because I realize maybe you're not going to understand it or remember it the first time, but it might be the second, third, or fourth time that the light bulb goes off. So that's why you're going to hear me be redundant on some things, but it's always the simple, kind of core elements that are the ones you want to remember. Okay, so if you look at this little picture up on the upper left, when you get into Forex trading or any kind of investments, it's like the ocean, it's shark-infested waters. Okay, whether it's
this file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Brokers, maybe it's a lot of bad information out there. So it's a very kind of treacherous thing to step into. So the goal of Nikos and myself here at Spartan Traders, we want to teach you how to trade for yourselves. And the goal is to get you to, catch a lot of fish on a regular basis. Okay, we want you to be able to kind of reel in a lot of pips. So that, that's what we're here about. So, over the 20 years that I mentioned I've been trading, I placed countless trades, hundreds and hundreds, probably into the thousands, over multiple markets, from stocks, futures, options, Forex, commodities. The only things I haven't traded is spread betting, but of course we don't have that in the U.S.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
And the thing I want to point out too is it really doesn't matter what you trade. Every market only moves up, down, or sideways, and I bring that up because people are always thinking, is Forex the best market to trade? Is stocks? It really doesn't matter, because they all have the patterns that we're teaching you in Spartan. So even though Nikos is showing you the trade setups on Forex, you can take the exact same thing and go trade stocks or whatever other things that your broker allows on the platform for MetaTrader. You can use it in metals and oils and so forth. Now, I've made every stupid mistake you could possibly make. All right, I'm not a fast learner in some ways. I had to kind of bang my head against the wall many times to get something to really sink in.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Like a lot of you are doing. And then over the years, it actually took me about 5 years to really start to figure out how to be more consistent, okay, and not keep giving all the money back, okay. So it's an ongoing, to me, trading is an ongoing life learning process. You never completely master the markets. And so, I used to, like, when I first got into this, I would spend 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day, glued at charts. And my wife wondered if she had a husband. She just never saw me. I was always, looking at charts and trying to crack this whole thing. So spent thousands of hours studying. And really what that's going to do for you guys is that the time I invested years ago is going to help give you a shortcut.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
The things I've learned both the hard way and through practical experience. And then the thing that's actually really was an unexpected bonus for me is I started teaching traders what I was using and starting to work with people personally. You see where people are struggling, and you start to notice that there's a theme. Usually there's about 5 or 6 points that people have, regardless of their age or their backgrounds. They have some common things, which is good. And what I find is once you start to remove those common sticking points, everything starts to, gel. All right, it starts to remove all the obstacles and things fall in place, and people start going from maybe losing money consistently to now breaking even consistently.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
The last 8 weeks. So that's what we want to do, get you through the sticking points and kind of keep going through until you can't go any higher. Then when you hit a plateau, we want you to go higher. Okay, so as I already mentioned, and if you look at this little chart up in the upper left side, when we all start learning trading, we're at the bottom. Doesn't matter if it's myself, Nikos, everybody in this call, we start at the bottom. We know zero. It's like learning a new language where you literally don't know a word of that language. And so the thing about trading is, a lot of the time it's...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Then you might go one up and then two back. It's a very kind of rocky road. So really, once again, the job of Nikos and myself is to give you a hand. We want to kind of pull you up. So we want to try to smooth that learning curve so it's more consistently like maybe 2 steps up, 1 back, rather than kind of, going 2 up, then 3 back, that type of thing. So basically what I'm going to do is each day I'm going to probably talk for about a half an hour, and I'm going to try to give you as much information as I can kind of impart in a short amount of time. Imagine this, like we're sitting at your favorite pub and we're sharing a beer or something like that, and you're trying to kind of just pick my brain and get as much practical information. Well, that's what I'm going to try to do. I want to try to give as much...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Not only trading system, but you'll also get the kind of the more practical aspects of how to use the system properly. And excuse me, the last thing, I can't say this enough, it might sound kind of dramatic, but if you really pay attention to everything I say, just one of these things can transform your trading, okay, and take it to the next level. And I don't say that lightly, but I can also tell you this. I might give you a list of, say, 20 things to do or to not do, and I can promise you that if you do the proper ones, or do the ones that you're supposed to do, you will start jumping up and being a better trader. But I can also equally promise you that if you start getting to the point where you're not doing
this file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Like when you stop focusing on the core strategies and the core principles, that's when you're going to get into trouble. So how's this sound so far? Are you ready to jump in? Okay, good. Let's keep going here. All right, now this is a kind of a very scary chart here, and this is what they call the trader survival rate. And you probably heard that most traders don't make it in the game, but this is a very interesting thing I stumbled onto. And let me ask you something. If you look at the bottom of this pyramid, it says all traders start with the dream to get rich. Does it sound like it?
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Okay, I don't think there's anybody that didn't get into trading, other than to get rich. And I'm the guy, kind of the idiot looking back. I spent all those years as a chiropractor, 8 years, and I had a career that could give me a 6-figure income, even a high 6-figure income, depending on how high or hard I wanted to work. But I thought I was so clever that when I found this trading thing, I thought I was going to get rich. I literally thought that I was making tens of thousands of dollars a week, just kind of clicking the buy and sell button a few times here and there. Okay, so that story didn't pan out. I quickly learned that trading was not as easy.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
You can see that it's hard to believe that 40% of traders are going to go out, after a month. And a lot of the times is because they have unrealistic expectations. Maybe they just, they risk like 20, 40, 50% on their account, and they blew their account after like a few bad trades. maybe they bought like a Forex robot or something like that, just totally didn't work, so they lost all their money. Now, you can see within 80% of people, drop out within 2 years. So it's very interesting that after 5 years, we've got just 7%, okay, people are still in the game. And it's absolutely scary that after all that time of 5 years, there's only a small...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
And it's interesting to note, too, that, let's say you look at something like the restaurant business, they have kind of the same type of statistics where people, within a few years, maybe 5 years, most restaurants are out of business, or even any type of business doesn't survive more than maybe 5-10 years. Excuse me. So you've all heard this slogan, but if it was easy, everyone would do it. All right? And now the thing about trading is when you put in the time like Nikos and myself have, and you get experience, it is a lot easier, but it's not ever effortless. Okay, it always is a challenge.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
I can promise you that if you put in the time, it gets much easier. Okay, but as I say, if it was brain dead easy, everybody would do it, and everybody be a millionaire just from trading alone. Okay, so you got to put in some time into this. Okay, a little bit of a quiz. Can you guys tell me, what do you think the number one reason is that you'll probably, and I don't necessarily mean you personally, but why most traders will probably never make money trading? Okay, as much as you can, answer this, please. What do you think the number one reason is most traders aren't going to make money?
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Not having a strategy, yeah. Lack of discipline, money management, impatience. There you go, Grasshopper, not Spartans. Nick giving up soon. Steven said no plan. Vipul, lack of confidence, yep. Emotions, yep. Spiro said emotions. Okay, a couple more. I mean, you caught all the basics ones. Over trading, yeah, lack of risk management, poor strategy to start off with, fear of missing out. Okay, all great answers, all right? Over trading, yeah. Yeah, Jordy, that's a good one, yeah, not starting. Okay,
this file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
So here's the thing is, while you're all right, the biggest obstacle to ever making money, it's you. And you're going to continually be the biggest obstacle to your success. So, let me explain. And once again, I know from my personal experience, I was the biggest obstacle for a long time. So let me get into it. So another question, how many of you maybe, and now we're coming to the end of the year of 2017, how many of you at the end of the year kind of got, after all the holidays and stuff, you really got tired of, you thought, oh God, I'm out of shape, maybe I'll go buy a gym membership or a diet book.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
I think we've all been there, okay, especially if we overeat at the holidays, but, we just think, oh, man, I'm not in good shape. I really need to do something. Yeah, there you go. The pizza will do it for sure, Mark. So if you did finally commit to the new year, you joined the gym, you bought the diet book, how many of you stuck with it? Okay, and did you get the results you wanted, or did you drift back into your old habits? Come on, guys. Come on. I want to hear some answers. Yeah. Okay, everybody's saying back.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
And so, you know, if you answered back in your old habits, you can see you're not alone, because the statistics show that 80-90% of people never complete a diet plan. You know, they never finish the book. They don't work out on a regular basis. So what that means is at the end of the year, you know, only small 10 to 20% of the people got, you know, they actually took action and got the intended results. So let me ask you this. Did the gym equipment fail? Or did the diet fail? Or did the diet book fail? Well, you know, it's not a trick question. Of course not. Okay? The bottom line
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
You have to consider that the diet or the gym equipment are simply tools that combine with consistent action. Those are what's going to bring the outcome. Okay? There's no other way around it. Would everybody agree with me that there's basically no other way to do it? Yep. Now, the same thing is true. You know, a lot of us, we want to improve our lives, so we'll go buy like a self-help book, you know, motivational type product. Maybe we'll attend a seminar or stuff like that. But it's the same thing. 90% of people never complete that self-help book or put the strategies, you know, into practice on a regular basis.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor.
The reason I bring this
Please
all up is
buy it now.
the exact same thing happens in trading. And what you have to understand is that as we provide, you know, over these 5-day period, we're going to give you a strategy, and we're going to give you EAs, okay, that are going to help make trading a lot easier. But these things are only tools, and they're only going to get you so far. And this is more important than anything, is you have to understand it's the proper application on a consistent basis is what's going to make it work. Okay? And if you don't apply these, you know, tools properly, then you're not going to get the results you want. Make sense?
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
And this is the problem, you know, whether it's diets, making money in Forex, or, you know, getting more motivated, stuff like that, because we all want the results. But, you know, when we're very honest with ourselves, we realize we don't want to put in the hard work because it's not fun. And we all want the magic pill, okay? And in this little diagram here, you know, it says, you know, the magic pill formula is 70% nutrition, 20% exercise, or 10% badass attitude. Well, I agree with that, but I actually think it's kind of lopsided, because in order to lose weight and get in good shape, you've got to have basically an 80% badass attitude, because that attitude is the only thing that's...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
It's going to, you know, make you actually eat some food that might taste god-awful. It's just kind of some health food or something like that you really don't want, when you would prefer the cake, you know, the cookies or the candy. Okay, so the attitude is what's going to get you through. All right, so that is so important. Yeah, Nick, the mental part, mental aspect is 80% of trading for sure. Charles, there is sound. Okay, good. Sometimes it can kick in and out just due to your internet connection. Okay, so, you know, this magic pill mentality is why everybody is searching for the magic trading robot. Okay, is there anybody here...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Quick show of hands. Did you all know what a trading robot is? Okay, yes. Okay, well, most people have, but basically what a trading robot is, it's a piece of software that you install on your computer, It does all the analysis for you, and it automatically gets you into trades, and then it gets you out. So the kind of the promise of trading robots is that, you know, it's like a kind of a magic ATM, a money machine. You just put this thing in, you know, you install it, and then you just...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Out money for you. All right. So this is the magic pill that traders are looking for, but it just doesn't work that way. Now let me see if I can find something real quick here. Just hang on, guys. I'm trying to find a web page that made me laugh. Okay. Okay. This is actually, I stumbled onto it. This is a website that they sell Forex robots. And I got to give these guys credit because it's very well done. They give these robots all these fancy names. You know,
this file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
They make it like this is some kind of intelligent person, you know, divide and conquer, you know, find unstoppable Forex trades on each chart. But the interesting thing about it is that if you look at this picture here, they get you in here at the very bottom. They withstand all these big retracements, and somehow they sell at the top. Okay. They go down. They got a whole page of them here. Here's one called the Falcon, right? It's called the Ruthless Predator. Somehow they get in at the very bottom, and all this up and down movement, somehow they sell at the top. Okay, and then they show all these big, like just so far in November, it made $74,000. Okay, almost $1 million this year.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Okay, here's one. Yeah, the Almighty Reaper, trade with extreme hostility. All right, they get this breakout after this long range, and somehow they sell at the very top. And they said 158 pips, just another ordinary day for the Reaper. All right. Then they give ones like, I'm just going to show this to you here. This is kind of an interesting one. It's called the Hedging Made Simple. Well, they do something very kind of that makes it look like they've got something very unique. Well, if you look at the red bars and the blue bars, those are what's called smooth Heikiashin bars. Okay. So basically, they're very like kind of lagging indicator, but it looks like it's like a really sophisticated...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Simply the closing price of the actual price bars. The point is, they do all this kind of slick-looking stuff to make you think that grabbing 100 pips, 200 is as simple. You know, just by putting this software in your computer. Okay, once again, okay, this hedging robot, $400,000 this year. Now, here's the thing, guys. Okay, yeah, Kurt, saying $100 each. If this thing, gladly, if it actually did what it said, I would write a check tomorrow for $10,000 because I want it as much as the next guy. I want the magic robot that will really do what they tell me they would do. I mean, why not? If you could make $500,000, wouldn't you invest in, $10,000? Okay. If these things really did what
this file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Dollars, and they'd probably just put it on the shelf. Now, the reason I even take the time out to show you this stuff is because there's going to come a time in your trading where you're going to see things like this, and maybe you've got like 3-4 losing trades in a row, and you're going to be wondering, God, is this Spartan thing working? Maybe it's not working. And then you see something like this, and you're tempted. So what ends up happening is maybe you go buy one of these. You say, oh, it's only $100, but then you start losing a couple months getting lost in this thing, and then you find that it doesn't work and that you've actually lost money. And what we often see is people have done things like this. They've gone to other programs, and they've come back to us like a year or 2 years later and say, hey, I finally realized that what you guys were teaching, actually, I should have stuck with. So just kind
this file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor.
Like I said,
please buy it now.
This stuff and you think, oh, my God, it looks so easy. They must know something. I got to check it out. Okay, let me go back to the, okay. So as I pointed out, there are no magic pills, but Nick and I, if you put some time in, have you're patient, we're going to help you guide through, so you're not like this guy where you're kind of always trying to jump off a cliff blindly to chase the money. Okay, Kurt. Yeah, I'm glad that helped. You just sometimes part of my job is a teacher and a coach is just pointing the obvious out because it's easy to get blinded by all this stuff we see. All right. And as I already said, if it was so easy, everybody would be doing it.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please, buy it now.
All right, another question for you. Listen, the fact you're here and you're sitting here like 2+ hours a day means you are serious and that you have the best intentions to make it work. So how many of you, let me ask you this, play video games, all right, maybe on a PC, a tablet, or your phone? And hopefully you're not doing this while you're at work. Or maybe you did the old school ones where you had to put a coin into this. Okay. Guilty. Okay, yeah. Okay, it looks like we got a little bit of a 50-50. And there's so many games now, it's like, you get all those games for your phone, like the Angry Birds.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please, buy it now.
Now here's the thing about all these games. They have a similar theme. You're trying to not get killed by aliens or zombies or crazed killers, maybe Angry Birds, soldiers, or even these cute little yellow Pac-Men. No matter what the game is, in the end, you usually get killed or eaten by something. Okay, and guess what happens? Can anybody tell what happens after, you kind of get killed or eaten by the enemy? There you go, Kurt. You've got the spineless snake game. There you go, Brent. Yeah, everybody says, you restart, sure. So you either hit the reset button, or in the old days you put a coin in and you were. And the thing about it is, you're always excited.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Because it's so much fun, you can do this on hours on end. Okay, some people do it for 12, 14 hours without taking a break. They're just so hooked on it. Now, the important thing I want to get across here is and how it, there's never a time when you're playing these video games you're so fearful from being killed in the last game that you wouldn't not want to play again. But now, here's where it ties into trading. When a trader gets a new system, they're all excited. Okay, it's whether it's the one you're just signed on for us now, you get all excited. But what happens is, and this will happen at some point, and we don't know when.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Okay, but when this happens, you start to worry and you get fearful. And when you get fearful, it's no longer fun anymore. It's not a game that you're having pleasure with, and you start questioning things. You start saying, "Oh God, I wonder if I chose the right system." So here's what follows. Yeah, and Brent said it. Yeah, Brent said it well. He said, "Yeah, that's the time that I stop from fear, for sure," and that's what happens. So one of the things that can happen is when a trader learning a new system and they hit a wall with a bunch of losses, they start tweaking things. Okay, their logic is, well, maybe if I add a few more rules.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Settings, for instance, they think, okay, well, Nikos uses a 36 EMA. Maybe this 34 EMA I heard on another forum would be the one to go. Does anybody do that? You love tweaking indicators or changing things. Yeah, we all do it. Earlier in my career, I would change things almost daily, and at one point I ran out of screen space. I think I had like 10 or 12 indicators in the subgraphs. I couldn't get any more. All right. And this is a bad idea because you just by even changing one setting or adding
This file
one
made
more
by the
rule
trial version of
completely
Advanced Audio
invalidates the
Compressor.
entire system. And I
Please
can
buy it now.
absolutely tell you that the more rules or things you tweak, it kind of exponentially makes the odds worse of the system working. You would think having more confirmation signals would make it better, but it doesn't do it because what happens is the more things you add into the mix, the more complicated it is to make a decision in real time because you start getting contradictory signals and so forth, and you just don't know what to do anymore, so you kind of freeze. And another thing that happens is when you start getting a string of losses is and we've already talked about this, I think Nick was talking about yesterday, is you start second-guessing any new signal that comes up. And, because you're worried, you're fearful, you see the signal, you know the
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it
I'm
now.
not going to take this one. It just doesn't feel right. Or maybe you tell yourself, you know what, I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to get in. I just want to see if the market climbs a little bit more. I want to get a bit more confirmation. Does anybody do that? Okay, Anthony says all the damn time. Yeah. Yeah, everybody. Jennifer, yeah, you beat me to the punch here. Jennifer said, yeah, and then, yeah, it's the winner. And here's the thing. It's like clockwork. It's like somebody is watching you, okay? You sit out on a trade for whatever reason, and that's the one that worked out, all right?
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
And then finally you say, oh, man, I got to get it back in. And sure enough, the market screws you. It says, okay, Jeff got back in. Now I'm going to make this one not work. Right? So it's frustrating, okay, to say the least. Everybody been there and done that? It's almost like, you get so out of sync with the market. It's just like if you did the opposite, it would all work out, okay? And here's the thing is that when you start getting some losses and you start looking elsewhere and you start trying to do all kinds of other things, you don't even realize you're doing it.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Trying to figure out why the system isn't working, but what you don't realize, it's you that's not working. Okay, and as I said earlier, you're the biggest obstacle. All right, so you've got to just kind of get this straight in your head because this will be a major stumbling block, all right? If you can't get past this, then you're always in kind of this state of sort of worry and confusion. Now this is sort of something you really got to take into consideration. Just because the system's got 3 or 4 or 5 losses, it doesn't mean it's not working. And even if it's got a 70% win rate, it doesn't mean that you're just going to get a couple losses here.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
A sequence of trades out of 100. So in other words, you could theoretically have 10 losing trades in a row, and that would be nothing if you're looking at 100 trades. So a 70% win rate could easily have 10 in a row. It's probably not. It's not going to happen, but you just have to be aware that sequences of trades, bad trades, can happen. Okay. And the thing about trading is you never know. Okay, you might get 5 winners, then 3 losers, then you might get 1 winner or 1 loser for a long time. You just don't know how they're going to pan out. Okay, so you just kind of keep taking them and realizing that if your system has a 60 or 70% win rate, that as long as you keep...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Yeah. The thing is, and I want to point out, is it makes sense on a logical level, but at an emotional level, that's a whole different kettle of fish there. All right? because emotionally, we don't want to sit through 3, 4, or 5 losses. It just doesn't feel good. And even if we know our system has a 70% win rate, we don't like to have the losses. It's never a lot of fun. But you have to remember on the logical side that if your system is historically proven to give you a mathematical edge, you just got to keep trading the heck out of it, okay? You have to take all...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
When you see the setup with our strategy, you can't hesitate, all right? The minute you see it, you just have to say, okay, it looks good. I'm going to go for it, and, win, lose, or draw, I know that the odds are in my favor in the long term. And you can see from the trades that Nick have shared, it's not like he had all big winners. There was just a handful of big winners, okay? There were some losers. There was ones that got a little bit, and other ones just got chopped up, okay? But overall, it worked out great in that 1 year period. So just keep reminding yourself when you're wondering if you should continue that the odds will work in your favor as long as you keep working this system. Yeah,
this file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
It's true. It's like everybody wants to make a lot of money, but they hate losing money. But you can't make money in investing without losing money. Okay, this is a key, so critical. It's, what I call, self-inflicted losses. Now, everybody knows who this guy is. Back in his heyday, Tiger Woods, arguably the best golfer, that ever was. Okay, you can just see from the look on his face, that guy was unstoppable. Okay, and one of his kind of hallmarks was this amazing mindset he had. He just had like a killer instinct. He just knew he was going to win. There was no defeat in his mindset. But flash forward a bunch of years when he got into all that mess.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Struck mode, and things started to unravel. He's never been the same. He'd never get back to winning anything. He started getting into, never been in, good form. Also his health, starting getting health problems, stuff like that. So quite a difference, wouldn't you say, the guy in the left and the right? Okay, but he did that. That was a self-inflicted, result. So we don't want you to look like this, okay? Where in the beginning you're doing great, and then you start making mistakes, and you just kind of off on the wrong path. Yeah, Kurt. Yeah, he got totally out of shape. It's just kind of sad, It's just, yeah.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
So I'm going to quickly go over 5 self-inflicted losses. Some of these are common sense, but we all make them. Okay, first one is carelessness. This is where you meant to buy, hit the buy button, and by accident you hit the sell button. Has anybody ever done that? Yeah. So hopefully you haven't, but it's easy to do, especially if you're not paying attention. If you're maybe watching TV on the side, or you just watching, doing something on your Facebook page or whatever. It's easy to, or maybe you just didn't double check the button you were clicking. It's very easy to do. But if you have this kind of...
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Another one that can happen is you meant to buy one mini lot, but you bought a full standard lot. Has anybody done anything like that? Or maybe you thought you were going to buy like a micro lot and you bought a mini lot. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of yeses here. Yeah, and so Josh just said he lost a lot. So what happens is you might end up losing 5, 10 times more just because you didn't double check the lot size that you were buying. Once again, it wasn't the system. That was like a self-inflicted error, okay? Yeah, Paul said, or trade the wrong pair by mistake, for sure. That can easily happen. This is one that can happen.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
For some weird reason that you actually have a trade, open trade. Has anybody done that? Yeah. Here's the thing. There are the odd times where maybe you forgot you had a trade and you come back like a week later and you say, oh my God, where did all this money come from? And you're up like, 300 pips or whatever the case might be. That's all good, but it's not good if for some reason, the trade isn't going your way. Then it can get kind of scary. Now, the last one in this category is you forgot to put your stop in. Anybody ever done that?
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Okay, this is the one that can be super dangerous because say you got in your trade, you forgot to put the stop in, and you went to sleep and the market kind of, news hit or something like that. You could easily find yourself down 100, 200 pips, something like that. So you always want to, everything on this list so far, you want to double check. Just eliminating those small things can make a big difference, okay? Common sense, but it's easy, when we got our nerves going and the, kind of heat of battle when we're trading, it's easy to overlook these things. Yeah, and this is why the software is going to help. It really helps to take care of a lot of that automated money stuff.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Okay, self-inflicted loss number 2. This is premature entry. This is where you're doing your analysis, and you see everything lining up. You see, let's say 80 or 90% of the rules are meeting the criteria, but maybe you're bored, or maybe you just want to get some action, something like that. So you jump in without waiting for the final confirmation bar to close. Have anybody done that? Something you just kind of jumped the gun a little too quickly? Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like playing sports. When we say you're on a team sport or whatever, you always want to have the ball kicked to you.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Right? Please buy it now.
And that's what can happen with trading, right? You just you want to make something happen. You don't want to sit there and not make money. So you think, well, I'm just going to jump in. It looks pretty good. And now the thing is, sometimes it can actually work in your favor. You end up getting a better fill because you got in early. But more often than not, what happens is you have unnecessary losses because the market, it didn't confirm your system. So this is something you got to be patient, and trading is all about patience, right? You got to just sit on your hands for a long time, and just only when the criteria are met, that's when you take action, not a minute before. Excuse me.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Some people might have commented in the chat box. But I think this is probably one of the biggest reasons traders fail. And so basically, premature exit is where, let's say you get into a trade and you have 50 pip stop. So you know that your first target is 50 pips away, all right, like a 1-to-1 ratio. So what happens is, you get in, life is good, you're up 20, you're quickly up 10 pips, and at that point, you literally can physically feel yourself, you kind of breathe out, you say, it feels better just to know that you've been rewarded, and so the trade is looking good.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
All of a sudden you see your kind of pips being taken away. Now you're up 9, 8, 7, 6. And what happens? It's very typical for the trader to say, this is not working, doesn't feel right, I'm going to close it because it's better to get out with some profit than none. Have you done that? Yeah, we all do it. And there's like a saying, you probably heard, and I think it's a bunch, like a bunch of bullshit, that, they say you can't go broke taking profits. Well, you can, okay, because a lot of times what happens is that traders will, they'll go with that mentality. It's like, oh, well, if I just grab 5 here, 8 here, but the problem is if they get
This file
stopped out
made
at
by the
60
trial
pounds,
version of
30,
Advanced
40
Audio
pip
Compressor.
stops, they're going to be
Please
giving
buy it
back a
now.
lot more than they're taking in. So, once again, it's kind of this self-preservation mechanism where traders think, well, it's better to lock in something than maybe to let it come back and stop me out for the full 50 pips. But here's the interesting thing about it is it's almost like clockwork. Trader gets out, they're all happy that they at least got something. And then like 15, 20 minutes later, the market starts climbing, okay, and then maybe they come back a few hours and,
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Yeah, Carlos said typical error. Yep. It's definitely by far the most frustrating thing. And the thing about it is, like, I know better, and I even did this last week. I got in a trade, and, Nick said, well, once you get in, just walk away. Well, I didn't do it. Okay, I was kind of watching it, and I thought I'd be kind of clever, and I micromanaged it. And I think I ended up grabbing it. Well, it wasn't going in my favor at all, so I thought, you know what, doesn't look good. I'm going to get out. I think I had like a 5-pip loss or something like that. No big deal.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
I was looking for. Okay, so Nick is so right on this one. You do the analysis, you enter, you put your stops in, and you walk away for at least the first day. Okay, vital. And you have to realize that this one thing alone will make or break your trading career. Okay, you've got to kind of get to the point where you can grab the big trades, like the 300, the 500, the 800 pip trades. Okay, those are the ones that are going to make your month. And it is possible. It was just patience. I believe, Tomek from the live trading room, he's one of the mentors.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
I think a multi-month trade, but those are the ones that really, plump up the trading account. So you got to hang in there and just let the money management do its thing. All right, now this is an interesting one. It's kind of a problem that we all want to have. It's, what I call cockiness. And basically, cockiness comes, you've been trading the system and you've been applying it, and it's actually, you're doing very well, okay? You're feeling really good, and this is actually the time, believe it or not, when you're probably in greater danger of things falling apart. Does that make sense, everybody?
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
But what happens is you get cocky. You think, oh, I'm making money so easy. You just feel like you can't do wrong. So when you get into that kind of mindset, you think, oh, I'm so damn smart, and you start winging it. You just think, oh, the chart looks pretty good. I'm just going to go for it, right? And what happens is sometimes that actually works, so you feel even more indestructible, but it always ends up backfiring, okay? So you've got to be aware of this. This is something that maybe you haven't, kind of worked your way up to where you're consistently getting to the point where you're feeling cocky, but we all want you to get there. But this is one of the things that as you're kind of climbing up that ladder of success, you've got to be aware of.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
And it's a lack of consistency. And what I mean by that is that traders will often, they won't adhere to a schedule. Maybe one day they'll trade after work, maybe one day before. Another time they might trade 30 minutes. Another time they might sit glued for 8 hours. All right, there's no consistency there. All right, maybe sometimes they'll be watching 8 markets, then other times they'll be watching 20. And then, like I've said before, they start tweaking things over and over again. Okay, their workspaces, their indicating settings, and so forth. So, and then also it's like not applying the rules consistently, all right?
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Paying you $50,000 or $100,000 a year. Well, what happens when you go work for any company? They have like what's called a procedural manual. It's basically, kind of systemized steps to do everything in the office, from the way you communicate to other people to the way you do certain projects and stuff like that. You have a system in place. Well, imagine if you kind of took this sort of half-assed approach to your job. Like, how long do you think it would be before they fire you, right? Not long at all. They would be showing you the door if you just decide to wing it and don't have rules in place. So the reason that's so important is that a lot of traders don't do well is because they don't have a training.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
On a consistent basis, and they're always changing things. So you want to really get your daily approach to trading on a systemized basis. And I think Nick will be talking about it at some point during the 5 days, just the basics of having a trading plan, because it's so important. Okay, you've got to have, just like a pilot going in an airplane, you've got to have a checklist. You would never think of taking off, going up in the air without that checklist. Okay, guys, that's it for today. It's a lot to think about, and once again, a lot of these things are common sense, but the problem with trading is that common sense isn't so easy to apply.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Go back to these things that I've taught, and I can promise you that if you make sure you're doing the things that I say you should do, you're going to come out way ahead. But if you start kind of falling behind in some of them, you're actually going to lose money. Okay, so just please pay attention. It might seem like common sense or basic stuff, but you got to go with it. Okay? Okay, guys, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And, one thing to do is don't gloss over this kind of the mental aspects of this, because this is so important. Make it a habit of watching this every month or something like that to keep you on the right path. Yeah, Kurt said I've been spying on him. Yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on all you. Okay, guys, listen, have a good night, and then we're gonna post these videos in a couple hours. Okay, we hope you enjoyed this tonight.
This file made by the trial version of Advanced Audio Compressor. Please buy it now.
Okay, guys, have a good night.